Well, welcome to Spitting the Bit. We're on the Derby Trail, and we're this weekend some fun stuff down at the Fairgrounds in New Orleans. So we're gonna
Yes,
talk about
sir.
that, and we're gonna try to help you pick some winners. So
Excited.
yeah, should be fun. You have some history on what's the race, the
The Lecomte.
Lecomte?
Yeah, I do. And for me, this is where it really gets rolling this race.
Yeah, you and a lot of other handicappers, they kind of consider this the now we're getting serious. The point totals have doubled, 20 points for the winner, and yeah, you're not alone in thinking that this is where things really pick up.
Well, and you're on the bubble many years if you win this race and have finished. Well, for example, what Chip Pancho won the gun runner, right?
Yep, got 10
So
points for that.
yeah, yeah. So he wins this race and he's really sitting pretty at getting into the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, yeah,
Even you really would only have to, for the most years, just finishing in the money on any qualifying race coming up, and you're in the Kentucky Derby.
yeah,
So,
perfect.
which brings me to my first horse in the history of the Lecomte. Just have a couple horses that wanted to mention, but back in 2019, this is the race that War of Will run.
Mm,
War of Will won,
mm. Wow,
and
say that
right.
more
So
times.
and Will went on to win the Preakness, but War Will's the horse that was on the tail of Maximum Security the year that I was at the Derby that they brought down Maximum Security when Maximum Security got spooked. So War of Will got tangled up and
Hmm.
was out of the race from that point on. But super athletic horse would have any other type of, if that had been Country House, a more lumbering, plodding horse, I think he might have went down. But War Will is really athletic and stayed up, thankfully, so we didn't have a disaster. So that was in 2019. But War Will went on to win the Maker's Mark Mile. I think that's in, yeah, that's Keeneland, but that's a G1. So went on to win two more G1s before retired. And then back in 2013, Oxbow, Dwayne Lucas horse, I think went on to ran sixth, if I remember right, in the Kentucky Derby in 2013. And I think that was the Orb year, if I remember right. But Gary Stevens on board after he kind of came out of retirement after all those surgeries, but went on to win the Preakness as well. So this race has had good luck producing Preakness winners here in the last decade.
Okay, okay.
And Oxbow, I should mention too, Oxbow finished second in Belmont.
There you
So
go. Yeah.
sixth a win and a second in the Triple Crown races.
Oh, terrific. This race is on the dirt. It's 1 mile and a 16th,
Yep.
which I think most of the races, that might be why this is ramps up so much, is now we really start to like have horses ramp up the distance. We don't have any of that 7 furlong stuff, do we? It's usually
For the
a
one turn
mile
mile. Well,
plus.
actually, I
Yeah,
take that back. We still have another one turn mile at Aqueduct.
right. But
The Gotham is still coming up, but for the most part, yeah, I think that's
yeah,
it.
yeah, and we get to see some of these horses have performed really well at one turn or and that's but they won't translate to a two-turn
Right.
quality horse. And so, but now we're going to be seeing mostly two-turn or almost all two-turn races, and we'll see what they have. So should be
Yeah, I think we still have it's a mile and an eighth, but the Virginia Derby that they added last year. Um,
is that at
that
Colonial Downs?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that is a mile and an eighth, but it's a one turn.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I like to see two turns. The distance is important, but two turns is more important to me. You know, who can handle two turns.
I
Um,
agree. I was overly excited about a horse that won that race last year. In hindsight, it didn't pan out. Didn't have it winning. But anyways, no, I agree. I think it's a better test for what you're going to face in the Derby.
yeah. So hey, do me a favor. Tell about tell me about the fairgrounds as far as the track layout. Has it, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the bigger home stretches,
Yeah,
kind of
if
the
I,
front.
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, um, it's the second longest home stretch to when La Salle does thoroughbred
Okay.
races. So it's a long haul, and the Derby or Churchill is really long too. I think Churchill is like 100 feet shorter or something if I remember right, but
Yeah.
very comparable.
We got a good home stretch. We got one of your favorite tracks. Let's talk about the actual race. Who do you like and why?
Who do I have on top? I actually, speaking of maximum security, I have maximum security bred horse, the Dam Pussyfoot. Awesome. It's Brendan Walsh's horse, Stop the Car, with Ben Curtis aboard.
That,
Coming.
that's the 10.
Yep, Stop the Car, number 10. That's why I'm on top. Um, Won it's his two races, won both of them. One at Keeneland back at the end of October, and one right around Thanksgiving at Churchill at a mile. One was Keeneland was 6 furlongs, but a mile at Churchill, so one of your one turn horses. Um, but has won both races, and Brendan's shipping him in for the Lecomte.
Yeah, my notes. I have won both races impressively. It was,
Yeah,
uh,
it seems.
yeah, yeah. I don't have the 10 hitting the board, but boy, it's a good horse. I don't blame you for having it on top.
Yeah, by the metrics I, I use, I have him my three categories. He's my number one horse in all three.
Yeah, you know what kind of scared me about him though is he hasn't gone two turns yet. So,
Oh,
but
for sure.
he may love the
There's
two
other horses.
turns. Yeah, we're gonna learn a lot about this horse on Saturday.
Yep.
Yep. So, yeah, and you know a lot of these horses did not do well early in their debuts or their first couple races. They started to do well when they stretched out to more distance. I think a lot of them
Um,
were that way.
yeah.
So,
Well, and who do you have on top?
well, I went with Chip Honcho. Chip
Well, and
Honcho,
he
the
fits your bill of at 7 furlongs, finished second and
yep,
kind of a fading second. And you talk.
yeah. So he won the gun runner, which is why I like him.
Yep.
It was not that great of a race, but his last two races looked really good, and one of those was the gun runner. So kind of a proven winner. He'll press the pace.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And he's out of Curlin, right?
yeah, yes, uh,
Back when.
yeah, yeah. So we'll like the distance. So yeah, Chip Poncho's a good one.
Yeah, he's keeping Paco Lopez on.
Yes,
Um, but it's an Asmussen horse, correct?
yes, Asmussen, and gun runner. I didn't go with him, and I got burned. So I'm going with him this time. I'm not going to get burned. So
All right.
all right, and then the horse I like second. I think we both like him second. There's another gun runner, um,
Yep.
Crown the Buckeye, which I think you had
Yeah,
picked to win the gun runner,
I did.
and I had
I
him. I
did,
had
and
him
I was a little
third.
nervous.
Yeah,
And that's what he ended up finishing. He ran well. I mean, he was on the lead and ended up fading there in the last
yeah,
moments of the race and finished third. Um, yeah, I'm interested. I'm still very interested in this horse, though. I think, when you look at his past performances, he's done a, a couple different running styles. Two back, it was pretty slow early pace, and then um, this last race was a very hot pace, and he didn't survive it. But they're switching jockeys. Jareth Loveberry had been on the last two and was on in the gun runner, and it looks like Mike Maker decided that Loveberry might have misjudged the pace, is my opinion, because he's taken Loveberry off and putting Ricardo Santana
Yeah,
Jr. on the course. So
yeah.
we'll see.
And you think, and you're thinking it's a strategic play to switch jockeys, that it was that he's making that move to
I
prove.
can't guarantee that, but I mean,
No,
certainly that happens. And Loveberry does well at Fairgrounds. I mean, he came out of um, races. He didn't run in the Louisiana Derby with two fills. They went up to the Jeff Ruby, but he ran in the other legs, and Loveberry was on. So I mean, Loveberry knows the track and does well, but um, I wouldn't be surprised that Mike thought he went out too fast. And I'm only making that judgment because his previous race he ran a much slower couple first fractions, but
yeah. So we'll
and
see. If
but I
we
have him as the number two as well, and you already said that, I think, but we're
yeah,
both in agreement on that.
yeah, and it's an Ohio bred called Crown the Buckeye. So sticking with that
Yep.
Ohio theme going there. Um,
Right.
and then there's just so many horses in this race that I like. But I'm going with Thunderbuck for my third choice. I think I'll get
Say more.
good. I'll get more. I'll get a little price on Thunderbuck. I think the horse likes the distance. It's a gun runner colt, so this should have no problem with the distance. Um, just last time, just sat off the pace and finished strongly. Cox excels at this type of horse, this type of spot.
Yep.
So, um, and is Thunderbuck changing just to jockeys?
No, Saez won.
Okay.
So it's Luis Saez, and Saez was on here at the fairgrounds back in December, winning at the same distance.
Yeah, and he
So,
does he does well at fairgrounds. He does well in that, and yeah, I think he's a good jockey for this situation.
yeah, and I don't know what to make of him yet, but I mean it's Brad Cox. It's a gun runner
Yeah,
horse. The dam was from Oxbow. I never mentioned him.
yeah,
Um, so there's nothing to not like. The only thing on him that made me a little had some trepidation is his uh, the main special weight that he ran. Though there was 12 horses, which is awfully nice, and the Thunderbuck had to steady, says, and he went 5 wide to win it. But it was a 55,000 main special weight, so it's a jump up. Um,
yeah,
but we'll see.
yeah. We will see that.
It's certainly not going to surprise me if Brad Cox wins this race. He's done it many times.
Yeah, other horses I didn't that I put him over. I like a lot. Carson Street. There's a lot of good stuff to be said about Carson Street. White Tiger. You know, it's a fast and talented horse, that White Tiger. But I'm going with Thunderbuck. How
All
about
right.
you?
And for my third, I'm going with Chip Poncho.
Okay.
I think he ran a real solid race, and I expect him to run another solid race.
For sure. For sure. For sure. I think there's a lot. We're going to learn a lot about some of these horses in this race, and Chip Honcho wins. That'll give him two points races that he's won. That'll say a lot for him, I think.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that puts him in the 30-point range already if he wins this race.
stop the car wins that the race. We're gonna learn, hey, two turns likes the distance, and that will say a lot. So there's just a lot of stuff we're going to learn about um, these horses in this race. You know,
Yeah, well, I agree. I'm really looking forward to it. I think you and I were talking before we um started recording, and truly, it's not going to surprise me. There's my top seven. I could very easily see winning this race, and that's pretty unusual. I mean, my
yeah,
horse is what, 8-1, but all of the ones we've talked about are 9-2, 6-1.
yeah, we're going to get good odds on this,
Yep.
and it's great if you can pick the winner. It's going to be hard and like you said, there's seven legitimate horses that could win this race. That you can make
Right.
a case for them winning. So if you're fortunate enough to pick the winner, great. Now you want to make it even more difficult. Now let's pick an exact and a try with all these good horses. So really fun race to bet, and I'm gonna feel really good if I hit it. And we're gonna get good odds. So
Yep, and I think that's a given. Because even though um, we're talking about some Brad Cox horses, there's three Brad Cox horses in my top six, so it's
yeah,
the money's going to be spread around.
yeah,
I don't think there's a risk that one single horse is going to drop down
yeah. Which
too.
Cox horse do you want? Yeah.
Right, take a pick.
Now, on our episode where we talked about betting, we talked about superfectas. I said I'd never play them. I so rarely play them because they're so hard. I don't know. This race might be a fun one to throw a little bit of money at a superfecta. Um,
Yeah, possibly. I think the flip side for me will be some of the stuff you were talking about, that we've got some horses that are going to be running um, two turns for the first time. Because even horses that I have in the middle of my numbers, you're still talking like Jose Ortiz is on it. um, so I mean, White Tiger, Irad's on.
right,
Eclipse winner
right.
Flavian is on Sherry DeVoe's horse Mesquite. So boy, I don't know who I would leave out. I mean, there are some I would for sure leave out, but Jose Ortiz is on Golden Tempo, but coming off of a 6 furlong race, but went from 10th to first in a 6 furlong race. So yeah, it'd be fun to hit a super on this one, but the hard part would be who you going to keep out.
Yeah, you gotta throw some out for that to
Right.
happen, and it won't be easy to because yeah, even the ones I have like kind of checked that I don't like this one, not gonna win. I still to make a case for them, like we were talking earlier on. There's some um, you know, like Golden Temple. I don't have that Golden Temple anywhere near hitting the board. But then you look at it and go, oh, that's a pretty good horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my legs
Right. I
stretch
mean,
them
if
out.
she's been if when the horse ran back before Christmas, but they've had a good month to try and help this horse get out of the gate a little better. I mean, it's another Curlin horse
Hmm.
from Smart Strike,
Just
but the horse was 10th, like broke so slow. It was 10th, um, was 6 wide in a 6 furlong race at the fairgrounds and came home and won in a 10 horse field. So it obviously is no slouch if they can, if, um, and Ortiz is back on it too. Another,
well,
and
good,
he
good.
won the riding title last year at fairgrounds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so
So yeah,
well,
it's not going to surprise me if this horse wins.
tough race because there's so many good horses. But hey, the winner's gonna prove themselves. They're gonna have to earn it. They're gonna have to prove they'll prove themselves as a legit contender, I think.
Oh,
So
absolutely. And from many of the races or many of the Lecomtes, they can be pretty exciting. There's years where, like the year Epicenter finished second in this race, and it was a Keith DeSormo horse. It was kind of a hot pace, and a DeSormo horse came from the clouds and nipped
all
Epicenter at the wire.
right. Well, hey, let's enjoy watching it on Saturday, and hopefully we'll make some money.
Yeah.
If we hit it, we'll make money. That's for sure. That's one of the good things. So, all right.
Yep.
So let's wrap it up here. And hey, you want to do your plug for your morning radio show that you talked about at our last
Oh,
episode? Yeah.
yes. Well, just WWOZ is the local radio station in New Orleans, and it's awesome. If you want to listen to get that feel of old school local radio, but get just the rich history of music in New Orleans, and if you like jazz and blues and whatnot,
Kind of getting that New
it is well
Orleans
worth it.
mood. Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Outstanding.
WWOZ.
WWOZ.
OZ, yep.
All right.
Get
WW
yourself
Oz.
in the mood for this weekend's races at Fairgrounds.
All right. Sounds good. Well, hey, good luck and let's win some money
Thank
this
you, my
weekend.
friend.